apple pie and cheese is one of those food combinations that baffle the uninitiated, yet captivate those who dare to try it. At first glance, the contrast is stark. The sweet, tart, and buttery pie against the tangy, savory, and slightly crumbly cheese. But how did this peculiar pairing come to be? Why do some swear by it, while others remain skeptical? And what is it about the meeting of sweet and savory that continues to intrigue our palates? To understand the origins of apple pie and cheese, we must travel back in time to medieval England. During this era, dairy products such as cheese and cream were commonly paired with fruit-based dishes, as the richness of the dairy balanced the natural tartness of fruits. Custards, tarts, and even fruit-laden breads were often accompanied by cheese or cream to enhance their depth of flavor. As apple pie grew in popularity throughout England, it was only natural that cheese found its way into the mix. After all, English cheeses, such as the famously sharp and nutty Cheshire cheese, were frequently served alongside desserts. This practice of combining cheese with fruit-filled pastries gradually took hold, and as British immigrants carried their culinary traditions across the Atlantic, so too did the pairing of apple pie and cheese. In the United States, particularly in New England and the Midwest, the tradition endured. While many Americans associate apple pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream today, certain regions, especially Vermont, where dairy farming is a cornerstone of local culture, maintained the old-world habit of serving pie with cheese. So much so, in fact, that Vermont even passed a state law suggesting that apple pie should be served with either ice cream, cold milk, or a slice of cheddar cheese. Though not legally enforced, this culinary decree speaks to the enduring power of this unique pairing. What makes apple pie and cheese work? The answer lies in the science of taste. Our palates are naturally drawn to contrasts: sweet and salty, creamy and crunchy, rich and acidic. This is why salted caramel, chocolate-covered pretzels, and peanut butter with jelly are so universally adored. In the case of apple pie and cheese, the sweetness of the pie interacts beautifully with the saltiness of the cheese. The fat content in cheddar also provides a creamy, mouth-coating sensation that tempers the tartness of the apples, while the slight sharpness of aged cheddar enhances the warm spices in the pie. The buttery, flaky crust adds a textural contrast that complements the smoothness of the cheese, making each bite a multi-layered experience of flavor and texture. Additionally, the temperature contrast, warm apple pie against cool, slightly firm cheese, further elevates the eating experience. When the cheese melts just slightly into the pie's filling, it creates a decadent, gooey harmony of flavors that is both unexpected and deeply satisfying. The way in which apple pie and cheese are served varies by region and personal preference. In some places, a thick slice of cheddar is placed directly on top of a warm slice of pie, allowing the heat to soften the cheese slightly. Others prefer to bake the cheese directly into the pie crust, creating a subtle infusion of flavor rather than a separate component. There are also those who take the combination even further, crafting grilled cheese sandwiches with apple pie filling or incorporating cheese directly into the pie's filling for an extra layer of richness. And while sharp cheddar is the most traditional choice, some adventurous eaters have experimented with other cheeses, such as creamy brie, nutty Gruyere, or even blue cheese for an intense burst of umami. Despite its historical significance and scientific appeal, apple pie with cheese remains a divisive pairing. Many first-time tasters are hesitant, their minds conditioned to expect ice cream or whipped cream as the go-to apple pie accompaniments. Some recoil at the thought of mixing something savory with their dessert, while others are open to the adventure but remain unconvinced. On the other hand, those who love it often develop a near devotional attachment to the combination, insisting that apple pie simply isn't complete without a slice of cheddar. For these enthusiasts, the pairing is a nostalgic comfort, a nod to old-fashioned culinary wisdom, and an appreciation for flavors that challenge conventional expectations. So, is apple pie with cheese an inspired stroke of genius or a culinary crime? The answer, as with all food preferences, is deeply personal. But if history, science, and devoted fans have taught us anything, it's that the combination is far more than just a quirky novelty. It's a tradition rooted in centuries of culinary practice, a testament to the magic of contrasting flavors, and an invitation to challenge our preconceived notions of what belongs on our plates. The next time you find yourself slicing into a warm, fragrant apple pie, consider setting aside the ice cream and reaching for a wedge of sharp cheddar instead. You might just discover that this odd pairing isn't so odd after all, but rather a masterpiece of taste that has stood the test of time. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe to History of Food for more fascinating stories behind the foods we love. Thank you for watching.